What's going on, guys? Joe here from Subtle Art Soap That's wrong. Let me backtrack again. What's up, guys? Sean here, Sean Stapelfeld. Today I am in Joe's channel because if you guys did not know already, Joe had an accident. If you haven't watched his previous video, I'm hoping he puts it in the description below. Basically, God bless him, Joe had an accident. He's gonna have to get some surgery. So some changes will happen in his life during that time, and the business side of things, he can explain that. But in the meantime, I thought it would be an awesome idea if I shaved using one of his products. And today I'm gonna show you my favorite product from Joe's lineup, and that is this one right here. Lemon Lavender. So it's no surprise, I'm a huge citrus fan. I really love my citrus. I love bergamot, I love lemon, I love lime. Anything that is bright, I love it. And for those of you that don't know, I also love lavender. I'm a big matcha drinker. I like drinking matcha with strawberry, and I also love drinking matcha with lavender. And so this one, to me, it's very clean, very bright, but it's very relaxing. But it almost, to me, I almost want to eat it for some reason. Like, I think of like a cheesecake or I don't know what it is. But that is my favorite soap from Joe's lineup. And I really love Witchcraft, by the way, which is one that comes out near October. Let me show it to you guys real quick. So this is Witchcraft from Subtle Art Soap Company. Like I said, or I'm not sure if I said it, but this comes around Christmas time, October-ish. And my birthday is near October, so this is also between this one and Lemon Lavender. These are my top picks. And I love Draconis. So anyways, let's get into the shave. So nothing fancy today. I'm just using a Zenith boar brush. I've been really enjoying boar brushes lately. And I've been lathering from the tub. I was practicing my face lathering, but I noticed that if I go and splay and work my skin too much, my skin is so sensitive that I've gotten brush burn. So for those of you who don't know, it's good to exfoliate the face, use the brush to work it in, but you also have to keep in mind if your skin can handle it or not. So another tip for you guys. All right, so we have a pretty slick lather. I can feel it, I can see it. For the shave today, I'm taking that 1K edge that we had from this Sheffield razor, and I worked up to the 12K level. Today I'm gonna test it out. I had gifted my 12K before in the past to a friend of mine. And the reason for that is I've never been a fan of the 12K when I had it. But I was also very new to the hobby. And I was asking myself, you know, did I give a fair assessment to the 12K or not? And I'm talking about the 12K Naniwa. I'm always sensitive in this area, and this boar hair does not help. So in the meantime, I asked myself, you know, is it a fair assessment? Was I just giving my impression as a beginner? I asked myself, after all the experience I have now, all the razors that I've honed, will my mind change on the 12K? So that's what we're doing today. I guess I will have the answer to that by the end of the shave. So stick around for that at the end. being very careful here. I have a lot of pimples, so I might get some, I don't know, I've been getting a lot of pimples in that sensitive area. See? Here. We'll see. I had about a day of growth, so I feel like I'm not going to get a super close shave. I've been testing it out, and actually, when my hair grows a little bit thicker, almost with the first pass, I usually get a really close shave. I don't know if it's because of the whisker. The whisker comes out a little bit more. Maybe it's easier to cut. But Dapper Shaves also had the same experience. I think Eric had the same experience. He mentioned it in one of his videos. So it seems to be like a common trend. All right, that was the first pass. Very nice. I love that scent, Joe. You did an amazing job. So right now I'm just adding hydration to the face. You know, when we're shaving, we're taking off the whiskers, but we're also removing a little bit. We're removing a little bit of the skin layer, so always got to keep it hydrated. Going very light with the boar brush, splaying it, but being careful not to over exfoliate my face because I've learned that I'm sensitive. I was shaving every day, and every day I was splaying that boar brush and going to town. So that's, if you have sensitive skin, maybe that's the place where you might want to lather in your bowl and then just paint it on. Got it. Got a really nice slick lather here. I think it might show on camera the sheen that it has. And I really just want to open the tub of this and eat it because it's that good. So nothing crazy today, just a 2-pass shave. Very light pressure with the razor. I find that if you have a razor in motion, it kind of cuts better than a razor that is static, that you put in your skin and then go. No, try to having in motion beforehand. I feel like it gives a better cut. That's almost flat to my face. Okay. Very nice. I'm liking what I'm feeling. All right, let's go to the right side of my face with my other hand. Almost flat to my face. Adam's apple. So if you haven't already, please send a message to Joe from Subtle Art Soap Company. Wish him a speedy recovery. I've been playing with different strokes lately. With the same hand. It's fun, but it's difficult for sure. Getting a little quiet here. Seems like I'm concentrated. I'm also a really big fan of Joe's Draconis lineup. And he put such amazing what do you call them, labels on his pucks that hard to not get a puck or two. Now I know Joe is a very active person, so I know he's not having a good time. And that was a very enjoyable shave. I took my sweet time because I've been shaving every day, practicing some strokes, and my skin has been feeling it, you know. I have sensitive skin. It's just a problem. So my technique has to be on point. I can't face lather too much, so that's something I learned. But a very enjoyable shave because I was using Soul Art Soap Company Lemon Lavender. That's a banger right there. Now I don't have the splash, so I will kind of use something that isn't kosher with lemon lavender. At least I don't think it blends together well. But I'm going and doing a full Subtle Art Soap Company shave, so I'm going to use the splash that I have from Joe. And actually, before I bought this, I always used to buy the generic aftershave splashes. You know, my favorite, that blue little one that says ice something. I'm not going to name it here because this is a Subtle Art Soap video, right? So this was the first aftershave I got ever from any artisan, and that is Bay Rum. And this is a very unique Bay Rum. I really like it. And I think if you like Bay Rum, this one will not disappoint. So, well, seems like we got ourselves there. Let's go. Woo! That's money right there. That is money. So, presentable for work, pretty good shave. What do I think about that 12K? Well, I think maybe I was a little bit too harsh on the 12K, but it was a great edge. It felt very nice, very keen, very comfortable. Why did it feel comfortable now as opposed to when I was, let's say, less inexperienced? Well, I think it all comes down to shaving technique. My shaving technique was, my shaving angle was really high back in the day, and any synthetic was feeling causing irritation in my skin. Now my shaving angle is almost flat to my face because my razors are pretty keen, and so they can do that. But keenness-wise and comfort-wise, comparing that to a Naniwa 10K, you know, even the Fuji kind of felt similar to that in terms of keenness. Now that goes into another subject, which is, for me, and maybe here I'm talking more about razors and not so much about the soap and all that, but for me, keenness is achieved in the lower grits. And I think if you have your foundation work done properly, it's smooth sailing from there. I'll keep it at that. Keep it simple, light. I like the 10K. I like the Fuji 8K. I like the 12K. The 12K is not a bad stone. It's very hyped up, and it's because its price is pretty low for what it is. I do prefer other synthetic finishers out there. Very nice shave, very close. The aftershave splash stings just the right amount. So I'll leave it at that. Hoping Joe has a speedy recovery. I look forward to seeing everybody's comments in the comment section below. And if you're interested on what I was talking about, that video that Joe made, the original one, where he talks about what happened, maybe he will link it in the description below. So after you're done watching this, if you haven't heard what I talked about, go and watch that one so you're up to date. I'll see you guys in the next one, and thanks for being here. This is an awesome community, and you all make this community be what it is. So leave it at that. All right, I'm out. I gotta work.